In the space of 10 minutes, is it possible to talk of inclusive aviation, of gender equality within aviation, of all that is most dear to our hearts? In the space of 10 minutes, it is impossible not to speak of what we hold most dear. In the space of Hall Place, how can we not discuss aviation? So, in this place of Hall Place, how can we not discuss aviation? For it is here, all around us, through the history of the ATA, through the great pioneering women aviators, through your hearts and through your soul. I am a survivor, a polio survivor. My life with polio started when I was a small boy in India, aged about 18 months, in the twin industrial city of Howrah and Calcutta. So I was born in 1977. Although there is no official record of my birth, I survived polio at a time and a place when 1 in 5 children were dying of the virus. Today, I have no memory of my birth mother or father, or indeed of anyone in my original family. Possibly because I had caught polio and was paralyzed, possibly because there was no money, my mother or father, or indeed my grandmother, were unable to look after me properly and took me to the Mother Teresa's orphanage. It must have taken a lot of courage and mental strain to do that for me. One of my strongest memories from the roof of Mother Teresa's orphanage is kite flying. And in looking up at the sky, I also saw the contrails left by the jet planes. I longed to be on one, to feel the freedom of flying in the air, no post-polio paralysis to hold me back. I shall also never forget the first day when I saw an aeroplane and then flew in one as I left Calcutta. Before my path took me towards aviation, I undertook the management of some famous bands, including Pete Doherty on the right and his band The Libertines, sorting out tours, recordings and contracts, and anything else that needed sorting out, such as bailing out from jail. And it was because of Pete that I wanted to turn towards a new pasture. I've always wanted to be a pilot, and I qualified in September 2007. This dream of mine was made real. I now have over 500 hours, but I'm still a baby pilot. I hold an IMC rating, a night rating, and a class rating for the complex PA-28R, with thousands of miles of touring under my belt across Europe. And currently, I am trying to find the time to finish my single-engine instrument rating. And it was during those pilot training days, I had a real sense of feeling alive and a sense of freedom, of being liberated. And I started to have new dreams and visualize my future, where I wanted to help change people's lives, if not try and change the world. Learning to fly is a great way to change people's lives, building confidence and reigniting self-belief. For many people with disabilities, flying an aeroplane is empowering. People feel free, feel liberated from their disability with nothing to hold them back. There are certainly no differences between disabled pilots and able-bodied pilots. In the air, everybody is equal. I was privileged to have been trained by some amazing instructors. I was in awe of how brilliantly they work and think. In the UK, we have many, many fantastic organisations promoting inclusive aviation. Not perfect, of course, but fantastic. Things would be much worse without the FSFDP, Flight to Help, Airability, and of course, the BWPA. So I started Freedom in the Air about 5 years ago, because I saw a different way to promote inclusive aviation and to inspire change around the world. So, what do we actually do? We've provided over 600 people with a range of disabilities a complimentary flying lesson from Cranfield Airport. We've trained 5 full PPLs from around Europe within 53 hours of flight training. We've provided a couple of full flying scholarships, with more to follow next year, 2015 and 2016. We have a fleet of Cessna 152s, Cessna 172s, and the complex PA-28R, all fitted with the older but approved hand controls, including this PA-28R. And we use this for the complex and the more commercial flight training courses. Therefore, we are able to offer disabled people more choice as to what they can fly and from where they can fly from. The Freedom Control, which will be certified in all 31 EASA member countries plus North America, will have its official launch next year. It is almost impossible today for a person with disabilities to buy the older approved hand controls. Our hand control solution has been designed for both the Cessna and the Piper aeroplane for up to 12 different variants. These have been approved as a pilot equipment like a headset is, so there will be no need for engineers to install them, thus further reducing cost to the disabled aviator or the flying school. Our vision was to create the opportunity for people with lower limb disabilities to learn to fly. The aim is for all disabled pilots to achieve at least a private pilot's license through progressive and professional instruction. The Freedom Control will be the first of its kind and a great milestone in pioneering aviation for disabled people. Indeed, since we've been working on this project with Cranfield University, they are now teaching all their MSc Aerospace Vehicle Engineering students to design cockpits that can accommodate both able-bodied and disabled pilots for the next generation of commercial aeroplanes. We aim to produce 50 units of these Freedom Controls and provide them free of charge to a selection of flying schools that are keen to promote disabled aviation and make GA more accessible. 15 flying schools have been identified for this initial free distribution. A few weeks ago, we completed the ground test for the world's first portable multi-engine aeroplane hand control system based around the PA-44 Seminole. With this enabling technology, we will be able to offer disabled students the chance to achieve a commercial pilot's license with a multi-engine instrument rating and/or a flight instructor rating should they be able to get a Class 1 medical. We will be launching the Freedom Multi-Control at the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. And so our story evolves to a new chapter. Where we've been promoting learning to fly, we thought we should probably start to build aeroplanes too and complete the full circle. Therefore, we created the European Global Product Realization Group, which brings together 40 engineering students from 5 international universities with one partner, Freedom in the Air. The 5 universities all have heritage in aerospace engineering, and we are designing a new conceptual aeroplane designed around a wheelchair user. Working with these top 5 universities to create our first aeroplane will add great kudos when we start the production cycle. Therefore, over the past 18 months, we've been secretly building an all-inclusive and accessible aeroplane production facility called Birchwood in Yorkshire. The team are currently in production building 3 different types of aeroplanes to demonstrate our range of capabilities, including building a race plane. That's Birchwood, by the way. The unique aspects to Birchwood is that it has been designed and built applying concepts of universal design, so both able-bodied and disabled people can work alongside each other and benefit from the setup, from making aeroplanes to flying them. Birchwood will also become the production facility to manufacture the Freedom Controls and distribute them around the world. Birchwood has not only designed the production facility to be accessible, but also the residential accommodation. And from next year, you can watch a Channel 4 documentary about some of our projects there, including converting this jet. So flying is one of the very few activities where people with physical disabilities can participate to the same degree as an able-bodied person. The exhilarating experience builds confidence and self-esteem. This, in turn, empowers people to explore their potential by extending their personal boundaries. The first ever World Report on Disability, produced jointly by the World Health Organization and the World Bank, suggests that more than 1 billion people around the world have a disability. People with disabilities have generally poorer health, lower education achievements, fewer economic opportunities, and higher rates of poverty than people without disabilities. This is largely due to the lack of services being available to them and many other obstacles that they face in their everyday life. It is realistically possible for a person with a disability to obtain a commercial pilot's license and therefore get the necessary training to be employable and find employment as a pilot. Therefore, we have a large international alliance offering the services of our social enterprise to the yet untapped global market potential for inclusive aviation. We build aeroplanes, we teach people to fly, and we can now offer this to people in China, Brazil, from the Northern Hemisphere down to the Arab world. We are only as strong as the partnerships that we create. By working together, we intend to show that anyone can reach for the skies and achieve virtually anything, sometimes with only the very smallest amount of support. As humans, we create, and it is that creation which is a gift of the universe. It is for creation that we were all created, and yet the greatest inequality in the universe is that between creation and destruction. The effort, the energy that is put into creation is enormous. Think how long it takes us to create a human being, a child, an adult. It has taken 21 years thus far to make my sister who she is. BWPA has 60 years of creation to date, and yet each of them could be destroyed in a matter of seconds by the inequalities that still exist in the world today. Though great progress has been made towards making aviation more inclusive, gender equal, and accessible, discrimination still exists. Freedom in the air, and I am sure BWPA will remain focused on continuing to work towards progressing worldwide attitudes until equality is achieved within all sectors of aviation. This is an urgent matter, and it requires our attention. It requires our creativity, and it requires all of us in this room, in this city, in this planet, to work towards a common vision of a world where human inequality has no place. It takes us so long in our labour of love to create beauty. It takes hatred so little time to destroy. So as aviators, as humans with humanity in all its grace, we must be on a path of constant vigilance to nurture creation and prevent its destruction. Before I end, I would like to play you 2 very short videos followed by a quote.
Gabriella Down from Milton Keynes is no ordinary teenager.
Don't be shy. Give it, yep.
Not only is she about to realise one of her dreams by taking control of a plane, but the 14-year-old has just been selected to represent Team GB at the Paralympics.
I'm really excited. We've now just come back from the team launch, so we're getting our closing ceremony kits, and it's making it all a bit more real, and it's really exciting.
Gabriella's been selected as part of the fencing team, but the cool nerve required to handle an épée is not the same when it comes to handling a plane.
I'm really nervous. I'm really excited though as well, but incredibly nervous.
Following some expert tuition, it was time to fly. Taking off from Cranfield Airport and soaring across the Bedfordshire countryside in a plane specially designed to be controlled using only your hands. The day's been organised by 2 charities, Variety, which sponsors Gabriella, and Freedom in the Air.
How do you feel, okay?
It was really good. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was. a bit nervous though, but yeah, that was really good.
As the third youngest member of Team GB, London 2012 may be more about experience than medals for Gabriella. But after today's lesson, she's setting her sights high for Brazil 2016.
You know, there's so many great things you can do in the world, but when you say, I can fly, I can control the plane, most people will look up and turn around and think, yeah, that's
Pretty cool.
yeah. Ultimately, I think flying is one of the coolest things you can do.
That's the hand control.
So that is left,
Yep.
and that is right.
Yeah.
Cool. This is something I never ever thought I would do in my life. It's like it's dreams that schoolboys have, isn't it?
Yeah.
I fly a plane and look at it.
It's easy.
No, I don't know about easy, but
Well, you're gonna do all of it. Michael will be asleep.
yeah.
Oh my God. Fairly gentle one, that.
Michael just, we'll just put the throttle up and we'll just do this. And bang, you're up in the air before you know it, you're 2,000 feet up in the air.
Bank it like that. So bank the wings level, return the nose to the horizon. Wings level, and pitch up to the horizon. That's right. You have it then.
No, that was crazy. He did some of those, was it the stall? Yeah, when you go up and then the engine just, when you drop, it was fantastic. Just doing something that I'd always dreamt of doing. It was amazing, amazing. I never ever thought I'd do this. If you said to me 5, 6, 7 years ago, you know, one day you'll be flying a plane and you'll get to fly it yourself, I would have laughed at you. I'd have laughed at you, and that's what life's about. So
Promise you come back.
definitely, go Tam. Thank
All right.
you very much, man.
The
Thank
plane
you.
is always here.
Yeah.
And you now know how to get in and start. So
Yeah, no, I'm coming back. I want some of those wings.
So AD is one of our ambassadors, and that was his very first flying lesson. So we certainly throw them in at the deep end. So to end, I want to leave you with a quote from my fellow Bengali and winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature, Rabindranath Tagore. And he says, "I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy." Thank you very much.